Hey, this is Real Life Through the Book of Psalms, chapter 5. Have you ever simply cried out to the Lord against your enemies? This is literally what chapter 5 is all about. David is crying out to the Lord and speaking against not only his enemies, but the wickedness that is taking place. And so chapter 5, again, it's actually an extension from 3 and 4 as he's still dealing with the issue of his son Absalom against him and going against him. At this point, Absalom has actually tried to murder his father. Crazy situation, right? But we jump into chapter 5 and see David speaking here. It says in verse 1, "O Lord, hear me as I pray. Pay attention to my groaning. Listen to my cry for help, my King and my God, for I pray to no one but you." Let's stop here really quick. This is amazing as he's saying, Lord, again, hear me as I pray. Again, crying out to the Lord as we've seen in every other psalm so far. But he's saying, pay attention to my groaning, the emotions that's attached to this, the heart that is attached to this. He's not just saying, hey, hear me. He's saying my groaning. This is grief here, right? That he's dealing with. And he says, listen to my cry for help, Lord, my King, my God, for I pray to no one but you. He's speaking to the confidence that he has in the Lord. He's also speaking to the fact that he worships no one else. He only worships God. And that's a clear thing here, and something that we'll talk about here in just a second as he continues on in verse 3. Listen to my voice in the morning. Love this, again, timing. Lord, each morning I bring my request to you and I wait expectantly. So again, crying out to the Lord, but then saying, I do this all the time. My voice in the morning, Lord, you hear it. And each morning I bring my request to you and I wait expectantly. This speaks to something amazing. God wants to hear our request. God wants to hear from us. He wants to know what we're dealing with. And it's okay to ask for specific things, to actually request something, to go to the Lord and say, Lord, I need these things. Lord, I need help in this area. Lord, I need wisdom. I need these things. David speaks about this so much in the Psalms, and I love it because of the heart and intent that's behind it, that he's so honest with the Lord, that he's so open to say these things. So same for us, right? And then verse 4 continues, oh God, you take no pleasure in the wickedness. So he's gonna switch here. You cannot tolerate the sins of the wicked. Therefore, the proud may not stand in your presence, for you hate all who do evil. You will destroy those who tell lies. The Lord detests murderers and deceivers. Because of this reason, because of your unfailing love, now I can enter into your house. I will worship at your temple with my deepest awe. Lead me in the right path, O Lord, or my enemies will conquer me. Make your way plain for me to follow. So brings up the wickedness part that's saying, look, you take no pleasure in wickedness. Therefore, the proud may not stand in your presence. Those that do evil are not supposed to be near you, right? You hate those and you will destroy those who tell lies. These are deep things, right? Especially when we're using a word like hate. But the Lord detests murderers and deceivers. But because of your unfailing love, because of that love, because of that mercy, because of that grace, even though that at some point we were the ones that were against God, he says, I can now enter your house and I'll worship you at your temple with deepest awe, just being in awe of the Lord because of that unfailing love that we have received. But then he goes on, lead me in the right path, O Lord, or my enemies will conquer me. I love this because, again, as he's speaking about enemies, he's speaking about mercy, he's speaking about, again, crying out to the Lord. He's saying, Lord, it's only you that direct me into the right path. It's only you that directs me into the right place that I'm supposed to go to. Or if I'm not allowing you to lead me, it's my enemies that will conquer me. And really that speaks to sin too. When we don't listen to the Lord, when we're not listening to what he has for us, when we're not doing what he's called us to do, then sin takes over and sin's going to lead us to destruction. And so he says, if I'm not listening to you and I'm not allowing you to lead me, then guess what? It's going to be other things that lead me. It's going to be my enemies that will often conquer me. And it's the same with sin. But he goes on, my enemies cannot speak a truthful word. Their deepest desire is to destroy others. Their talk is foul like the stench from an open grave. Their tongues are filled with flattery. But oh God, declare them guilty. Let them be caught in their own traps. Drive them away because of their many sins, for they have rebelled against you. So again, speaking of the wickedness, those that rebelled against God, but as he's saying this, he's bringing up, but Lord, I have been always about you. I've always been focused on you. I live my life for you. You're the only one that I call on. But again, his heart is really honest. He's saying, look, Lord, you're leading me in the right place, or my enemies will conquer me, but make your way plain for me to follow in verse 8. Making it simple and easy that, Lord, you're the one that's going to guide me. You're the one that's going to control my life. You're the one that I'm running to. But as I'm doing these types of things, there's an enemy out there that's trying to destroy me. And so he actually speaks against those enemies. When you read this again, it's some tough stuff because he's saying, Lord, destroy them. I don't know if you've ever prayed something like that. That's some heavy stuff, right? Well, David is being honest. I have this army all around me. They want to kill me. Lord, I'm asking that you defend me. I'm asking that you vindicate me. I'm asking that you're there for me. For us, a lot of times it's not necessarily physical enemies that are around us. It's more spiritual. The sin that enters in our life, the sin that's around us, the enemy trying to destroy us. So when we're in those situations, what are we supposed to do? Cry out to the Lord. Go to Jesus. Say, Lord, vindicate me. Lord, fight for me. Lord, fight that battle for me. Secure me. You're in control of all things, but be there for me. And those that are wicked, those that are sinful, those that are against me, Lord, do what only you can do. And as he ends in verse 10, oh God, declare them guilty. Let them be caught in their own traps. Drive them away because of their many sins, for they have rebelled against who? You. They've rebelled against him. And he's saying, Lord, those that rebelled against you, you deal with them. I want to stand firm in what you say to me. I want to stand firm in what you've given me. I want to stand firm in the life that I have in you. So this morning, be encouraged that you have a life in Jesus, that you can come to him with all of the things that you're dealing with, that you can bring even those things you're dealing with, sin or the enemies around you. He's saying, bring it to his feet, give it to him, hand it over to him, and know that he is with you no matter what. Hey, thanks so much for joining us again for Real Life through the book of Psalms. If you haven't, subscribe below. Join in. We want to try to reach as many people with not only the gospel, but these devotionals going through the book of Psalms together. So if this has encouraged you, do you mind sharing it? Do you mind sending it to somebody else? Tell someone else about it. Let's get through the book of Psalms together and be encouraged every single morning. We'll see you soon.